why I think we become obsessed with celebrity couples in an astrological sense. Right, so this is something I have been interested in since the beginning of time, like intoxicated, let's say, before I even like had boyfriends and that. I was so um intent on finding that other half of me. And I think that's ingrained in a lot of us, like not all of us obviously, but it's in our culture. And I do believe that they program certain things into us. And I didn't really know about PR until like a couple of years ago, if I'm being honest. Like, I literally, like, not that I believed everything in a magazine, obviously, but I didn't know like it was that deep, if you get what I mean. But I'm going to explain, like, on an astrological level, why it's these couples. And I'm telling you, they either have fire or water signs, which is intense energy compared to, say, air and earth, which I find a bit, not dull, but not as, like, this intense rush. And okay, their sun signs may not be those fire or water signs. They're going to have a dominant planet in it. And I've seen it with all of these people I'm going to show you right now, okay? And let's get into it. And let's get into why it's so, like, I don't know, not toxic, but just not the best impression to give on people, because then we want like this drama. Like, I put on my other TikTok that I'm a 33-year-old woman turning 34 this year, and I'm like obsessed with like the whole Jelena Justin and Selena thing. Like, it breaks my heart, and I know that they should be together, and I'm sorry to say that. I can't help it. Starting with these two, right? These two are from the 1970s, the late 1970s, mid to late 1970s. She's American and Jewish. He's English and not very. He's from like a very working class background. He was homeless. His mum was a heroin addict. He had a lot of intense trauma. She had a very traumatic birth. I've read her mum's book. It's very sad. She would always have traumas and tantrums up until forever, really, my whole life. So you must know who I'm talking about now. If not, you've been living on another planet. It's obviously Sid and Nancy. And I had this reference before I knew who they were, really, if I'm being honest. And it was like in film and stuff, like, and not in a good way, you know, like that 500 Days of Summer, they mentioned it. And they have on TV, and you must have heard like the Sid and Nancy references. Right, okay, so she is a Pisces sun with a Pisces rising and a Gemini moon. He is a Scorpio rising with a Taurus sun and a Libra moon. So you see that they're both air moons, making it very compatible. They understood each other on a deep emotional level. Okay? Okay. Their rising signs, both water signs, brilliant. And then their sun signs, both in sextile to each other, which means earth and water, or air and fire. So from the back, like, her Pisces intensity and his Scorpio rising fuck off face to say it all to me. Okay, he's like, oh, don't get in there and that. But when you hear him with her, you really see his soft side come out, like his Cancer, Mars in Cancer come out, and how that's quite effeminate for a man. And he was also a Venus in Taurus. So he had quite, although he was a very masculine man, he was struggling with that femininity too. So he had a lot of intensity dealing with his masculinity, I believe. I believe he wasn't very, he might have not even been sexually active before he met Nancy. Nancy was out there, like, before she came to England, she was following bands, doing that. Her mum said she was way above her time with, like, music and things like that. And I don't like people calling her a groupie, really, because I believe that these girls of that era had a lot of mental trauma that wasn't really talked about, and if it was like very taboo. So let's bear that in mind, like Sable Star and Laurie Maddox, and Pamela DeVos, and all those women might be happy with that. It was still wrong, like David Bowie having sexual relations with a minor, 13, let's just say that. Just wrong, just so wrong on so many levels. And they'll say that's the culture. And they're just mentioning on this video that I'm watching. How weird. I do this all the time anyway. So, yeah, she went to boarding school. She went to all these different programs. Her mum tried everything she could because she came from a middle-class background. So she was really upset when she heard her daughter being compared to being a groupie and just like a junkie and stuff, because that's someone's daughter. That's somebody's son, you know? It's believed that he did speed and that, but he didn't really do heroin until he met Nancy, although his mum was a heroin addict, so we don't really know if that's true or not. He was called Sid Vicious because Johnny Rotten had a hamster that he called Vicious, and he reminded of him. So, yeah. But you see that intensity. They were good at selling that image of just like dirty 1970s culture. Let's rebel against society. Sure, it's like Saturn in Aries energy. Yeah, I hate my father, all this, but I'm not going to say stuck in it. Because my dad's got that place that it could mean a violent father, could mean like an alcoholic father. These guys were 21 and 20 when they died, okay? They didn't even make their Saturn return. I'm sorry, this is so sad to me. So like I said, Nancy came here, she came to the UK, and she was with Sid. I don't think she was with anyone else. Maybe she had to do X work to fund a habit, which I completely understand, I haven't done that myself, but I can see how you can get to that desperation of it, trust me. Like, it's, once you get there, you could understand that and have compassion for that person. But I really believe that she loved Sid and really wanted to spend the time. She wanted to make him star. She believed he was so talented. And that's that Pisces believing in someone. You put them up on a pedestal and you really believe in that person until the end. But obviously she had really deep drug issues. And she predicted this, yeah, okay? I didn't actually mean this to be this long, so it's probably going to have a part 2, but here we go. Here is her quote that she predicted, and this is so Piscean or 12 house-ish. So here we go. I won't live to see 21. I'm not going to live to be old. I'm already old. It's not showing it all here, but I remember. I'm never going to be old. I won't live to see my 21st birthday. So sad. Okay, now we have the second couple. She comes from a religious gospel background and quite homophobic. She sang in the gospel. Her mum was like a leader of the choir. She was an amazing singer in the 90s. She had major drug problems too. He was in a boy band. He had alcohol issues, and they both struggled with cocaine issues together. They're very, very talented. She was the best singer, the voice of all time, and obviously I'm talking about Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Right, so these two met, and before she got with Bobby, everyone was like, "Oh, she could be with Eddie Murphy," and like football players and people they regarded as like more respectively for her. But you see these couples, and they just instantly have like this magnetic field around them where they just love intensely. She's a Leo, he's an Aquarius, so they've already got that opposite energy going on with each other, which is a hard energy to deal with unless you've got a lot of placements in the respective person's chart. So, but he is a Mars in Scorpio, and oh my god, they terrify me. So a lot of these people, their Mars sign is a water sign. Like, of all the people I'm thinking of, like it was either like Cancer Mars or Scorpio Mars, on the man or the woman. Whitney's Mars sign I can't think of right now, but they meshed together like so well, but people really disapproved. She even had a friend who was meant to have been her like lesbian lover, and she was already like breaking barriers as being like a black woman, and then to like say that she was a gay black woman, they still like now, like, because they say Taylor Swift might be like, and she's country, like they still think that's like a big taboo, which is really fucked up. But these two like had this, everyone said they had this really nice energy and they just really loved each other, but obviously she was like eclipsed him majorly, and we all know why. She's amazing. She's just, and she's got the personality too. She's not going to take any shit. She's a Leo, man, and I'm proud of that. He's an Aquarius man, and although Aquarius men don't usually mind it too much. They do have a big ego. So that would have been hard. He didn't want to be Mr. Houston. He wanted her to be Mrs. Brown. And they suffered so much together that in the end it would have killed probably both of them, the relationship. But honestly, this water sign stuff is real.